Hello everybody, this is Joe Chambers from Chambers Custom and 1911 University, bringing you another mathematical review. This is another gun from a company that we call Artist, formerly known as. We all know who that is. I'll show you the gun here. This gun came to me from a Patreon member. You can see in the video here that it has been ridden hard and was put up dirty. This gun has approximately, I think he said, 20,000 rounds through it. It is carried regularly. The DLC coating is wearing off of the slide, off of the frame, off of other areas. The front sight has been, well, it's been used. The gun has been used well. Quite frankly, this is an example of what gun makers like myself dream of getting back in their shop to look at. Is a gun that, you know, we built. I didn't build this one obviously, but a gun that we built that was used the way we intended it to be used and taken relatively good care of, and just a fabulous specimen of a gun that has been actually used as intended. So after a thorough cleaning, I took some measurements. You guys already know that I think these guns are a great value. They come in at about $2,000 plus the mounting of the red dot and the red dot itself. But I think they're a great value. According to this gun, it held up well. So now it's that time. Let's get into the math. Math don't lie. 3.14 is always pi. All right, a couple of things to note about this particular sample is that it's starting to show its wear a little bit. The grip safety and the screws were loose that hold the grip module onto the frame, so it was starting to sag a little bit, which was making the grip safety start to want to pop out. Well, that's something you should check on a fairly regular basis if you're carrying one of these on a regular on a daily, is make sure these screws are tight. If they're not, take them out, put a little blue Loctite or red Loctite, and put them back in. You won't hurt anything. The ejector in this gun is a little bit loose. That's due to a lot of rounds being put through it. Let's see what else. I did replace the fiber optic because it was pretty beat up and glued in place, so I took care of that. And yeah, I mean, it once had DLC coating on the whole thing, and now it's kind of shiny, which is cool. I love that. You know, that shows the gun's been used. All right, so the barrel OD is 695, and the slide ID is 7006 for a difference of 0.0056. It's a wedge lock style bull barrel. You can see. So it's going to wear a little differently than a tapered sleeve cone or a bushing barrel. Barrel hood to breech face gap was 5 thousandths. Chamber depth 760. Slide stop pin hole in the frame is 203. Slide stop pin diameter is 200, except for it does have some flat spots where the barrel was previously bearing on the slide stop, and that's 1995. That's a difference of 3.5 thousandths. The extractor length is 2.240, so it's right there in the proper range. This company does fit all of their extractors so that the tip of the extractor hits the round. They do that for many reasons that we've talked about in other videos. The extractor does have about 5 thousandths fore and aft play. Again, this gun has 20,000 rounds. Ejector length is 1.1, which is perfect. It's got a great angle on it. It clears the magazine and the rounds in the magazine. It does have a little looseness in it because of the round count. Barrel leg contact, 0. There is no barrel fit on this gun anymore. I don't know if there ever was any because I didn't have the gun when it was new, but at this point there is no barrel fit. Slide stop hole in the link is 2075, so it's a little short, and you'll see when we get to the viz that it's stopping on the link. The barrel leg height is 0.995. The link bridge thickness is 99, so there's only a half thou tolerance there. It's almost a link rider, but not quite, really. Slide way width is 7562 and frame rail width is 75 .49. That's a difference of 1.5 thousandths tolerance side to side, which isn't bad. Where we start to see the slide to frame fit get loose, and you can't really hear it on this gun, but it's loose, trust me, is the slide height. The slide way height is 104, and the frame rail height varies depending on where you measure it, between 93.5 and 95 thousandths. So you have about 9 to 10.5 thousandths tolerance up and down on the first measurement. On the second measurement, the slide rail height is 116, and the frame way height is 122 and 120 respectively, front, rear and front. So you have between 5.5 and 3.5 thousandths up and down on that, and that's what gives it a little bit of up and down, and that's probably why it lost its barrel fit, assuming that it had some in the beginning. Vertical frame impact surface is 496, and the barrel measures 488, so that's a difference of 8 thousandths. We like to see that measurement at 3 thousandths, give or take, but right at 3 thousandths, shorter on the barrel side, because that ensures that the barrel is stopping on the vis. This gun has 8, which is actually better than the other samples that we've measured on these guns by a fair margin. So there is a chance that it's hitting, and indeed on this sample it does appear to be hitting on the vis. So that's good. It's probably stopping on the link just as it's hitting on the vis, because the link's cut a little bit short. Trigger parts. The trigger in this gun weighed 3 pounds 14 ounces on my scales, my NRA scales. Excuse me. I did not weigh the mainspring because it's a polymer grip and I didn't want to run the risk of snapping it. So, but I'm assuming that it has the same, and you know what they say about assuming, but I'm assuming that it has the same mainspring housing weight as the ones previous, which would be I believe it's a 19 is what they're running in these P models. The Disco is an unmodified drop-in part at 1.305. The Sear is an unmodified drop-in part at 779, so both of those are great shape. And the hammer hooks are dressed a little bit for over travel, and they measure 20 thousandths. So the gun has a nice trigger pull. You know, it's not amazing, but it's nice. I think if you compare this gun at 20,000 rounds to other guns that I have done reviews of from the same company, you'll see that this gun is measuring up pretty good. You know, it hasn't gotten super loose, super goosey. It's not super tight. It probably wasn't super tight to begin with, but overall, you know, for the money invested, for the $2,000 that it takes to buy one of these, or a couple hundred more with the red dot mounting system that they have on there, the gun is holding up really nicely, and I wouldn't have a problem. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I wouldn't have a problem owning one of these if I didn't build wide bodies myself. So there you have it. Artist formerly known as, with 20,000 rounds on it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for viewing me on YouTube. If you like more of this content, you can see it on patreon.com/1911University. I'm Joe Chambers with Chambers Custom and 1911 University. Math don't lie. 3.14 is always pi.